All right, no time to explain, gang. Welcome back, King Zeph here. Back with just a little quick discussion and tip guide for you guys. It's late in the evening and I should be sleeping, but I just want to get this off my chest because if I don't, I won't have the time to do this. So, 2 days ago, fortunately for us, Ravensburger and Disney decided to announce the second chapter of Lorcana. So, basically, the second set, in case any of you guys who are into Lorcana didn't know, Ravensburger, especially their CEO, announced that when Lorcana released in August 18th for the LGSs and then of course September 1st for everywhere else, that it would have quarterly releases, which means the next chapter would be released every 3 months. So, as of 2 days ago, they actually made the announcement and saw the first look of the new chapter, which is called Rise of the Floodborn. So, we're just going to take a quick look at the website and check some things out. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of tidbits of information that I think will be very beneficial to you guys. So if you like content like this, first time to the channel, welcome. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like the video. Give us a subscribe. Give us a shout out if you would like. We are still doing our giveaway for celebrating 500 subscribers. A lot of you guys have already participated and have submitted your entries for the giveaway. One of them is a Lorcana giveaway. So if you haven't been able to get any product and been trying to get your hands on it, we are having 5 winners for that. So the link in that will be in the bio below. So check that out. But that's one of 3 giveaways we have. The only rules for that is that you basically listen to the instructions of the video and be a subscriber and fill out those information. So that'll be continuing on for another week at least. The winners will be pulled for that soon, but I digress. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ravensburg release. So this is a Ravensburger site where, of course, has Rhea as a cover, looking very Mulan-ish to a degree. But the first look at the Rise of Floodborn. So the first look of it, introducing the second set, which is Rise of Floodborn Chapter 2, is introducing a brand new mechanic. Of course, all of the ink colors are remaining the same. Nothing's changing on that territory. So you're going to have Amber, Amethyst, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, and Steel, which are the 6 inks. And of course, they're going to be introducing a couple new cards. So right now it says features more than 200 cards with brand new artwork. Fan favorites like Winnie the Pooh, Tiana appears for the first time, while 6 additional Disney stories join the lineup. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Zootopia, The Great Mouse Detective, The Jungle Book, and Rhea the Last Dragon are the 6 new Disney stories being added into this chapter. So that's actually quite nice. And then of course they show a couple of the new cards. Looks like up here they show one of the legendaries, which is Belle the Hidden Archer, which is a very broken card. I would zoom in on it if possible. Actually, I might be able to. Let's zoom in on it. Get a better look at it real quick. Don't want to zoom in too bad. So we have these guys right up here. Hope you guys can see the video. Actually, I'll just zoom a little bit more because I can see fine, but you guys can't see it on that side. And doesn't look like, oh, here we go. Better. So of course we have a new version of the Queen, an Amber version of her, which is a shift 2. So inkable with a 5. Whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character gets -4, which is devastating, and then a chosen character gets +4, so it allows you to have a strong attacker and a weak defender. Belle, which is quite broken, shift 3, archer. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging character discards all the cards in their hand. This is absolutely broken. The 3/3 with 3 lore. Yeah, whoever's idea for this card's art was very sick because that's a very broken mechanic, especially against a blue deck that allows you to draw a lot. So, or actually a purple deck is Amethyst. I'm sorry, getting the colors mixed up. It's late. And then a new Gaston. When you play this character, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put 1 in your hand and the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So, not too bad for a mill, but for 6, a little rough on that side. But those are some of the newer cards. And of course, here's the Tiana, as well as Winnie the Pooh. And then the new attribute for Resist, which are basically damage dealt to this character is reduced by 2, so it allows the characters to survive a little bit longer. And while this character is exerted and you have no cards in your hand, opposing opponents cannot play action cards. So not bad for a super rare. So I'm assuming they say over 200 cards. Oh, sorry, they gave it away 204. So the exact same number of cards as the previous set. And down here at the bottom, they tell you what number of cards. So Tiana's 196 out of 204. So an additional 204 cards in the set, just like the first set. And then, of course, they show the new Cinderella, which basically has resist, a shift 5, and then whenever you play a song, this character may challenge ready characters this turn. So basically, it basically gets rush if you play a song when this card hits the board, which is not too bad. And then, of course, they go over what the new attribute is, which is resist. And then, of course, they go over the product stack. So, of course, we have a new booster box, 12 cards per pack, 24 packs, a booster box, with the new art style, which honestly I really love the look of this. In terms of if they're gonna cover the packs, the boxes in cellophane this time around is yet to be seen. We'll figure that out when they release it. Two new starter decks instead of three, which I actually like this idea better because the first set, of course, had three starter decks, which is very necessary for a new game. But oddly enough, the Amber, what is it? The Ruby Emerald deck, the red green deck, was the weakest of the three. And it showed in terms of how badly the prices have gone up and down in terms of the secondary market. That was the one deck that kind of stayed as close to a reasonable, somewhat pseudo higher MSRP than the other ones. So it was definitely the weaker of the three decks. So some people may not like the fact that there's not a third deck in this one, but because this is a second set, I thoroughly believe it only needs two. And I think this color combo actually works quite well for this. But also, we'll find out more when we see what other cards are available in the set. Because if they're not doing a green red, because green is not even in either one of these decks, and the last one was amber, amethyst, and then steel, sapphire. So they kind of just flipped. But regardless, we'll see what those are come up in the future. But two new starter decks, a bunch of new accessories. So it looks like they have a Mulan sleeve and deck box, Rhea the Dragon sleeve and deck box, a Beast playmat, and a Winnie the Pooh playmat. And then, of course, they go into the new gift set, which is celebrating the Disney 100 series. So the new gift set actually has 6 promo cards that actually all look like enchanted cards, but they're not. They're just Disney 100 label full art cards. So what they look like enchanted cards. Same with everything else. Comes with 4 booster packs. I don't know if it's going to come with more tokens in the box or not, but instead of having the 4 promo cards, the 2 regular ones, and the 2 oversizes, this one's going to have the 6 promo cards, and looks like they're all like autographed by their artists on the side. So they look really, really cool. Nice for a collection and nice to have in the set. And they show you what all of them are. And these looks like must be the new versions of Mickey, Elsa, Genie, Maui, Maleficent, and Stitch. So these are all the new versions. So these versions are more than likely going to be the updated ones in the in that set. Maybe except Genie. Genie's normal. Genie's effect is the last one. So this is just an alternate art Genie. This Elsa's different. Because this has Challenger, and I don't recall the other purple also didn't have Challenger. Whenever collect quest, you may have paid 3. This Mickey is different. This Stitch is the same. This Maleficent might be the same. I can't remember what the blue Maleficent in the first set did. If it had 3 lore, 3 6, I think it is the same one. Also in art, and then Maui is an 8/8 with no abilities. So this was a new Maui. So 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are new. 3 of them are essentially alternate arts. And that's about it. And they say that it'll release in local stores November 17th and everywhere else December 1st. So basically holiday time, which is going to be absolutely awful in terms about getting this because playing the Christmas rush and with how high the demand for the first set is going to be awful. But before we go into the next thing, there is a trove. Um, I actually got this information wrong because I followed this newsletter. They didn't say anything about a trove in this newsletter. But if you go to the product pages, it shows you all the entire product stack. So there is a new trove with this as well that will more than likely be the same. It'll have the book with the 204 cards in it, 8 booster packs and everything else. And of course, you get to see all the items a little bit larger and up close and personal. Prices haven't been announced yet, but I'm assuming more or less the decks and the booster box will cost the same. The trove will probably cost the same. The only thing that I'm pretty much going to take a shot in the dark, and they might have announced this in a secondary blog or something, the gift set this time around, I believe will be more money because of the fact that it's giving you more promo cards and it has a Disney 100 stamp, basically giving Disney permission to up the price on that one. But I think that's a little bit more fair. And this time around, you're getting more unique promo cards. This time around, everything else is still the same. So I kind of would agree with it. I'm assuming it would go anywhere between from $30 to probably around $50. That sounds like a decent price, I believe, between 50 and 60 more than likely. Or it could be Ravensburger getting greedy because the secondary market, a lot of these gift sets were going for as high as $70. Some of them are going a little bit more because it's still kind of hard to find, but I digress. But that was the announcement that they made 2 days ago in terms of the second chapter, and then of course the new accessories and everything in between. So what does that really mean for you guys? Well, we already are dealing with an inventory restraint on the chapter 1, which we are getting. I believe the LGSs should be getting their restock in the next couple of weeks. They said October they would get their second stock. And then of course November is going to come around. So, and then the reprint's going to happen sometime next year. So, getting inventory is going to be very, very difficult. If it's any indication from that, I don't know how they've been doing the printing for the chapter 2 says. I know a lot of it's probably already done by now, since they've already had things kind of planned out in a 3-month increment. If I was Ravensburger, I would take chapter 1's release as a test drive and as a lesson, and be ensuring that you're printing as much as chapter 2 as possible. Especially with the holidays coming up, more or less, because finding product during Christmas time is going to be just as bad as finding it at release. And if they actually took that advice and probably kept the printers running for chapter 2 to at least double the amount of inventory that they had for the release, they might do better this time around. But I have no idea how the logistics is handled on a trading card TCG company and who does the printing and all that other stuff. So that's just fingers crossed. But for all of you guys that are watching and listening, um, my advice to you guys, because this is coming from me, I was able to get a booster box. Actually, I was able to get everything for the exception of all 3 starter decks at launch, because my store did do pre-orders. I was able to pre-order a booster box. They were out of stock on everything else, and on launch day they did have extras, so I was able to get the gift set and the trove and the starter deck for the Let's Play event. But if you're in hopes of looking to try to get your hands on chapter 2 inventory, this is the time now to track down your local LGSs and get as much information as humanly possible about when they're going to be doing pre-orders, and try to make yourself available so that when the pre-orders become available, you can put your orders in to guarantee that you get inventory, at least from the LGSs. In terms, if you don't want to play the games with the LGSs and wait to get it at the big box stores, um, we've seen with the Target and Walmart releases that they did stock ahead of the time, because that is a third-party vendor that handles that inventory. So you really can't control when it's going to be out there. Some stores are guaranteed to have it at launch. A lot of them, what we saw with the past release, that a lot of them had it out 4 days early. That's really going to be based upon when the vendors come to those locations and how often they refresh the stocks. And with that being on December 1st, dead heap of Christmas and Christmas shopping time, that's probably going to be a lot more difficult and a lot more stressful in terms of getting it in those stores and tracking down when the vendor refills the stocks. So if you can get it from an LGS, I would highly recommend getting it there first and foremost, and then playing the game of seeing if you can get it at Target and Walmart after the fact, or even Best Buy's website. BestBuy.com did a pretty good job about at least having inventory for the short period of time that it had, but they didn't make any announcements. It's one of those things that you kind of just had to periodically check Best Buy's website or see if an inventory thing is going to detect it or not. I don't know if they're going to do that for this time around, or if they're going to limit stock. I know they were discounting it for Total Tech members, and they might discount it to 1 per customer, 1 per household. I don't know. That's going to be something that's going to be solely up to Best Buy. But for any of you guys looking to get Chapter 2 um, merchandise, track down your LGSs now, have a game plan, and start asking them questions in terms of what type of inventory do they expect, or when they're going to start doing pre-orders, and get it, or if there's a wait list, get on the wait list as soon as possible. Um, if your LGS is being responsible and following by the rules of the distribution and by Ravensburger, they shouldn't be doing pre-orders on the product until roughly 2 to 3 weeks prior to launch. Coming from my personal LGS, they knew what the allocation was. They already told me ahead of time that they were going to be selling at MSRP, and they knew that inventory was going to be rough. But they also stated that, according to Ravensburger, from being a league store, that they were not allowed to do anything in terms of making any announcements until August 5th, and they did a release on August 18th. So that was about 2 weeks prior to launch. Now, I have seen online, I'm pretty positive some of you guys are in groups or on Reddit and everything, where a lot of LGSs were making pre-orders early ahead of time before they were supposed to. And then there, of course, were the horror stories of those that they claim they put an order in months in advance, and then the store got their allocation, and then they couldn't fulfill the pre-orders, and then that was just a big nightmare. So check your LGSs now, get a list of them together, and see what you need to do to get on that list, and do it as soon as possible. Also, be wary of the LGS's price gouging these product. Personally, I'm not going to be a financial advisor to you guys and tell you how to spend your money. If you have it and you want to spend it, be my guest. That's your money. You've worked hard for it. You get to do with it if you want to do. But personally, I'm a person of, I will spend a couple dollars over MSRP, but I will not spend ridiculously over MSRP. So my store sold everything in MSRP, so I was able to get the booster box for $144, the troll for $50, and the gift set for $30. But a lot of LGSs were selling the booster boxes anywhere between $250 and $300, which is double the MSRP, and so on and so forth. The trolls were $120 and the gift sets were like 80, which is absolutely ridiculous. So find out from them if they're going to be charging anything more, or at least find all of your nearby stores to see how they're going to handle pricing. Of course, answer with your wallet. If you purchase at these higher prices, you're just encouraging them to continue to sell at those higher prices at the end of the day. I get that you may want the product and you want to have the collection and everything and be a part of the group and have your decks together for league play or play with your friends and family. But is it truly worth spending that much more money and getting robbed and basically have being taken advantage of a customer just because of scarcity? Or is it based on principle? Personally, I will not give a place my business if the retailer and everybody tells me a product costs $145. I expect to spend $145. If they're charging $150, that's fine. It's $5 more. I'm going to pay that in taxes anyway. I'm not going to cry over a couple dollars. But you set me and tell me something is $145, you're going to charge me $180 or $200 for it. You're not getting my business. I'll gladly wait. Unfortunately, even if it means I'm going to be left out of the group for a little while, that's the price I'm willing to pay because I'm not going to spend much more over MSRP, and I don't believe you guys should either. For a couple reasons. One, it's just bad business practice at the end of the day, and two, the ultimate fear that I have, and this has been proven by Nvidia back during the graphics card releases during COVID. If they see that you're willing to pay more money for this, they're going to be enticed to up the MSRP and or possibly charge LGSs more money to purchase product, which is going to force them to raise prices. So Nvidia for the 3080 for anybody that's in the PC gaming community. I'm going to use a 3080 example. The 3080 graphics card was so it's a $700 graphics card when it released. It was very reasonably priced for as powerful it was. When the 4080 came out, it was a $1,200 graphics card. Now, although manufacturing changed because of COVID and materials were harder to get, that was essentially a $500 bump in price for that graphics card, and it didn't sell out because, of course, nobody was paying $1,200 for a graphics card at the point in time, especially when all the older cards were still available and you were able to get them on sale at a cheaper price and not really get the drastic performance difference. But the main reason that price went up so high was because they were getting scalped by bots. The crypto market was booming, so of course all the cryptocurrency miners were purchasing up cards and buying them out of nowhere. And because of the inventory stock, the prices went up on them, and people were paying as high as $1,500 to $1,800 for a $700 graphics card. So of course Nvidia can see that, or any retailer or manufacturer can see that on the back end and say, if people are buying this product for $200, $250, and we're selling it for $145, that's money that's coming out of our pockets. So let's up the price so that way we can take part of that money, and so on and so forth. Thus causes the inflation to go up a lot more higher for the resale market and makes product that much more difficult to get a hold to. So it's wise to try to keep things at the MSRP pricing. So one, it's obtainable to you and everybody else. And unfortunately, you just have to deal with the people that are going to try to hop in on a profit. But if an LGS is being responsible, they're probably going to limit the amount of product you can purchase. So that way more people can buy this, as well as I also know from looking into group messages, there are LGSs out there that are paying scalp prices from people that went and just bought everything on the shelves at Target and Walmart because they ran out of product for prizing for their tournaments and a bunch of other things. And since they're not getting a restocked, they're essentially buying product off other people who have been scalping it for the big box locations, just so their stores have inventory for their for that, which is causing another big mess in this. So, of course, demand is severely outpacing supply, but also a lot of it is inflated as well because you have people that are basically trying to flip this and make a profit off of. So the the more you hold out on it and the more that you don't spend and purchase these products from these individuals, the less likely it would happen. If people are sitting on inventory and nobody's buying it, that's money that they've wasted that they have to eventually unload off of. And by that time, you'll be able to sell it for MSRP and or possibly get scammed, because I have seen a couple people purchase from eBay saying it was a brand new sealed box and it was from Walmart, which means it was open because they had a rubber band wrapped around it and a bunch of other issues and everything that goes with that. So that's just my two pieces on it. But like I said, keep an eye on your LGSs, get on the list as soon as possible, validate the pricing and everything, answer with your wallet, and hopefully you guys will be able to get product as well. I'm rooting for all of you guys as well on that side. But also for those that didn't get product, like I said, we have 5 giveaways participants for a Lorcana giveaway that we are doing for a 500 giveaway. So link for that in the bio, or you can do a gift card promotion or Yu-Gi-Oh promotion as well. We have 3 different giveaways going on at the same time. As a thank you to you guys that have been with us and subscribed to us, and any new subscribers as well can hop in on that one. Just our way and also my way to try to give back to you guys and help some of you guys out get product, because I know a lot of you have been reluctant to be able to get product to play with your kids and family and participate. So out of my personal collection and pack opening that I could be doing from the channel, I figured that I would give you guys an opportunity to get some product and send some to you as well. So go ahead and do that for me if you want to participate in that. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you like this, tell me what you would like to hear about a little bit more. I don't mind having these little TED Talks about stuff like this because I care about this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys care about it as well. And yeah, any future content that you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments as well. So King Zeph here. Good night. Till next time. And good luck. Happy hunting.